Welcome to our podcast. Improve your English by shadowing. So, you want to speak English fluently, not just correctly, not just getting the words out, but naturally, effortlessly. You've tried studying grammar, memorizing lists of words, watching movies, maybe even reading out loud. And sure, all of that helps. But when the moment comes, when you actually need to speak, when someone is looking at you, waiting for a response, everything just vanishes. Your brain searches for words, but they don't come fast enough. Your tongue doesn't move the way you want it to. You know what you want to say, but somehow it doesn't come out the way it should. And here's why. Language isn't just information. It's not just something you store in your brain like a dictionary. It's movement. It's rhythm. It's instinct. Think about it. When you speak your native language, do you think about every word? Do you carefully construct each sentence in your head before you say it? Of course not. You just speak. Words flow because they're not separate pieces of knowledge. They're patterns, deeply wired into your brain, into your muscles, into your emotions. This is where shadowing changes everything. See, most people think learning a language is about input, listening, reading, studying, but input alone isn't enough. You need output. You need to train your mouth and your brain to work together in real time. You need to feel the words as they come out, to get comfortable with the speed, the rhythm, the melody of English, and that's what shadowing does. At first, it's going to feel strange, maybe even impossible. Your tongue will trip over the words. Your brain will feel like it's running behind, and you'll think, this is too hard. But that's exactly why it works, because when you push past that feeling, when you keep going, even when it's messy, your brain starts to catch up. Your mouth starts to move on its own. The hesitation fades. The thinking disappears. And one day, without even realizing it, you're not just repeating English. You're speaking it. That's fluency. Not knowing the words, not memorizing the grammar rules, but owning the language. And the more you do this, the more English stops being something you translate and starts being something you simply feel. The sentences come without effort. The pronunciation clicks into place. The rhythm becomes second nature. This is how you reach the level where English isn't just a language. You've learned it's a language you live. And once that happens, you'll never have to worry about struggling to speak again. Fluency isn't just about words. It's about presence. The way you carry a conversation, the way your voice flows, the way your sentences land effortlessly. And most people miss this part entirely. They focus on vocabulary, on grammar, on getting things right. But fluency isn't about being right. It's about being ready. Ready to respond. Ready to express. Ready to speak without hesitation. And the way to get there? It's not through more studying. It's through training. Training your tongue, your brain, your breath. Training yourself to keep going even when you don't feel ready. This is what makes shadowing so powerful. It forces you to stay in motion. No stopping. No second guessing. No time to get stuck in your head. You're not just speaking English, you're moving in English. Because here's something no one tells you. Fluency isn't just mental. It's physical. The way your mouth shapes the words. The way your breath controls the rhythm. The way your vocal cords adjust to the music of the language. At first it feels unnatural, like trying to dance to a beat you don't fully understand. But the more you move, the more your body starts to remember. Your muscles learn the patterns. Your ears recognize the flow. And suddenly, your mouth knows what to do before your brain even has to think about it. That's the moment everything changes. Because real fluency isn't when you stop making mistakes. It's when mistakes don't stop you. It's when words come out before you even have time to doubt them. It's when you trust yourself to speak, even when you're not fully sure where the sentence is going. And that kind of confidence? It's not something you find in a textbook. It's something you build, one sentence at a time, one breath at a time, one step closer to the version of you who doesn't just know English, who owns it. The secret to mastering English isn't hidden in textbooks, classrooms, or long vocabulary lists. It's in momentum. The ability to keep speaking, to keep flowing, even when your mind hasn't caught up yet. Most learners wait for certainty. They hesitate, searching for the perfect word, the perfect sentence. But waiting is what keeps you stuck. Because fluency isn't about perfection, it's about speed. Not speed in how fast you speak, but speed in how fast you recover. Think about native speakers. They don't always use perfect grammar. They pause, they rephrase, they throw in fillers like, but they never stop. They keep going. And that's why their speech feels natural. When you shadow, you train yourself to do the same. You stop overthinking. You stop doubting. You start trusting that whatever comes out of your mouth is enough. And that shift, That's what makes you sound fluent, even before you feel fluent. Because fluency is less about what you say and more about how you say it, the rhythm of your voice, the way your sentences connect, the confidence in your tone. And confidence doesn't come from knowing every word. It comes from knowing that you can handle the conversation anyway, that even if you don't have the perfect word, you'll find a way to express yourself, that even if you make a mistake, you won't freeze. This is why shadowing isn't just a technique. It's a mindset shift. It rewires your brain to focus forward, to push through, to keep speaking even when it's messy. And over time, something incredible happens. You stop needing to shadow. Because the way you speak English when you shadow, it becomes the way you speak English all the time. Without effort, without hesitation, without fear. Fluency isn't something you reach. It's something you grow into. And growth happens in the moments you push past discomfort. Every time you shadow, you're not just practicing pronunciation. You're teaching your brain that English isn't something to fear. You're proving to yourself, over and over again, that you can keep up, that you can think and speak at the same time, that you can sound natural, even when it feels like you're struggling. The struggle is the training, the hesitation, the small stumbles, the times when your tongue can't quite keep up. Those are the moments that build fluency, not the moments when everything feels easy, because fluency is built in motion, not in stillness. Imagine a swimmer learning how to stay afloat. They don't wait until they understand every technique before jumping into the water. They get in, they move, they keep moving, and in that movement, their body learns to stay above the surface. The same goes for English. You don't wait until you feel ready. You speak before you're ready. You push through the resistance, and in doing so, you train yourself to keep moving, no matter what. And little by little, English stops feeling like deep water. The fear fades. The hesitation disappears. And suddenly, one day, without even realizing it, you find yourself speaking with ease. Not because you memorized more words. Not because you studied harder. But because you refused to stop. Because you made speaking a habit, not a performance. Because you trained yourself to stay in the flow. And once you're in it, fluency is no longer a goal. It's just who you are. The real turning point in learning English isn't when you understand more words. It's when you stop fearing the ones you don't. Most learners believe fluency means knowing everything. Every word. Every grammar rule, every expression. But that's not how language works. Even native speakers forget words. Even they pause to find the right phrase. The difference? They don't see it as a failure. They don't let it break their flow. They trust themselves to find another way to express the idea. That trust is what shadowing builds. The ability to keep speaking, keep flowing, even when your brain is searching for the right words. It teaches you that fluency isn't about having a perfect script in your head. It's about handling the unexpected, without stopping, without freezing, without second-guessing yourself. Because in real conversations, things rarely go as planned. People speak fast. They use words you don't know. They interrupt. They change topics suddenly. And if you've only practiced English in perfect, controlled conditions, those moments will throw you off. But if you've trained through shadowing, if you've gotten used to keeping up, then nothing catches you off guard. You've already trained your brain to handle speed, rhythm, unpredictability. You've already learned how to stay in the conversation even when you don't have all the words. And that's when you realize fluency isn't about perfection. It's about adaptability. It's about trusting that no matter what happens, you can keep going. And once you believe that, English stops being a challenge. It becomes a part of you. Thanks for your time. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and give it a thumbs up. Also, feel free to share your thoughts or any questions you have in the comments below.